Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Motion to enter executive session for MRS 14056A, review of confidential records, poverty abatement application number 202-6002, PA.
So moved.
Second by Mr. Manhattan. All in favor? 4-0. Carmen is actually absent currently. Action items following executive session.
Let's get everybody here first.
Drop my papers coming in.
We exited executive session. I'm waiting on any motion for action following executive session.
Motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we,
Guys, can we keep it down for a second, please? Thank you.
I move that we give the applicant 2,100.
Second.
Second. Do we want to do it for that full amount or 2,100 even?
2,100.
2,100?
Yeah, she should have paid it.
Okay.
All in favor? 5-0. Move to enter executive session for MRS Title I, Section 4056A, personnel matters.
Second.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Move to exit executive session.
So moved.
All in favor? 5-0. All right. Action items following executive session, none. Approval of minutes.
Move to approve the March 10th, 2026 Select Board minutes.
Second.
All in favor? 5-0. All right. Update from Bridgton Farmers Market. You're bringing us warm weather, aren't you? Summer weather.
It doesn't look like it right now. My name is Sylvia. I'm the market manager at Bridgton Farmers Market, and I am super excited to update you on our expansion from last year and also what 2026 is going to look like for us. Last year, we requested to expand further down the sidewalk, like we had, I believe, 9 years ago. And we've been getting some really good feedback about that from customers and vendors. It kind of sounds like it's made us feel more like a community event instead of just people that show up every week. So that's been really nice to hear. We're super excited to be using that extra space for farmers market events as well. We have a lot of celebrating this summer. Market will be falling on 4th of July, Halloween, my birthday. So if anyone wants to start planning now.
Get there early.
It's also our 30th season, so we're super excited. to
Wow,
celebrate
it's
it.
been 30 years? Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Time
Yeah, I
flies.
remember the tall grass and mud hole you guys started out in.
Yeah, the little lake in the middle.
I remember it was Kathy Banks and Helen Ramsdale, and that was just about it.
Yeah.
So, really our biggest update that we are super excited to start sharing with people. After the SNAP funding was cut this winter, it was very devastating for a lot of families in the area. But a lot of people also went out of their way to help their neighbors, and it was really heartwarming to see. Because of that, we are very lucky that a generous member of our community has donated $25,000 to help continue our food access programs. Wow. They are remaining anonymous. But we will be working alongside them and the Maine Federation of Farmers Markets, and we're working on a plan to feed as many people as we possibly can. It's going to go a really long way, and I'm so excited about it.
That's excellent.
Starting in May, we're going to be the only market in Maine that's able to return to a 100% match in our nutrition incentive vouchers. Those are called Harvest Bucks. When the SNAP budget was cut, we had to cut back to 50%, so we're super excited to start giving people more money and more food. It's going to be great. We will also be catering to people who are living in the SNAP gap, which is when they're not making enough money to not worry about putting food on the table, but they're making too much money to technically qualify for SNAP. So we're going to try to be catering to those people. We will be printing specialized vouchers that we're working with the Federation of Farmers Markets to make. We'll be leaving those with community resources, community center, the recovery center, and also visiting the local food pantries. That's really all of the big things that we have coming up this year. It's pretty big.
That's a lot.
Very
A lot to talk about.
It's very big.
Very, very big, and very exciting. Yeah, we're just excited to start helping our neighbors as much as we possibly can.
Make the snow
Great.
go.
We're trying. We can't wait to be outside and not under
Yes.
fluorescent lighting.
Yes.
Yeah. Zoe, how has the feedback been for the vendors who have moved further down towards Stevens Brook in front of the community center?
They love it. They feel like it's a little island.
And they're experiencing the same amount of foot traffic and revenue?
Yeah, we
Great.
made sure to put some really fun things across there. So art, pasta, maple syrup, to get
Yes.
people
Yeah,
to
it's great.
actually walk across the street.
Baked goods, by the way.
Very good.
Yes.
Baked goods help a lot.
Yes,
they go
they
very
do.
far.
Now, is there gonna be coffee available for me to have with my blueberry baked goods?
Not made coffee, unfortunately, because they technically need a commercial kitchen to do that. But maybe dressed really nicely will bring those up.
There you go.
Is there allotted space for expansion in front of the community center in case you get new vendors who want to participate this summer?
We've talked with the community center about that. It's not looking like something that's going to happen in the next year or two, but in a couple of years, we're looking at starting to expand even more.
Do you have a vendor list, people, a list to, be part of it? Is it an ongoing list, or you're full. I know you're full.
We're pretty full right now. We just finished wrapping up applications
Okay.
for our summer, and we have one person that is looking to join with us. There's a lot of licensing and stuff to go
Okay.
through. Yeah, we're quickly growing and trying to keep it organized.
Yep.
You have a website, right?
We are building a website.
You're building a
We actually
website.
got a grant at the beginning of the fall to get a website up and going, so we don't rely on Google anymore.
So it'll be like www.Bridgton Farmers Market. Yeah, clever, very clever. Very
Are there
good.
Other questions I can answer, or?
When do you move from the Masonic Club?
First weekend in May. First weekend. Our first one outside. Thank you so much
All
for
right.
your time.
So
Thank you.
Zoe was a toddler when this all started.
I was. My parents used to do the coffee, and I was 6 years old when they started. So
Well,
I've been with the market a long time.
Well, you're doing a very good job.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
It was good to talk to you guys. Thank you.
thanks for coming.
All right. More exciting news, the transfer station schedule.
Yes. When I arrived in Bridgton, of course, I met a lot of you and asked a lot of questions and wondered what the priorities were. And I've got to tell you, opening on Sundays came up all the time, from many people, from many occupations. And I kind of talked about it a little bit, but then I was drowned out by Mr. McHatton, so I didn't really pursue it too much after that. I was asked by this board last fall to meet with the bargaining unit and have dialogue about maybe opening up the contract and having a discussion about opening on Sundays. And we had a very respectful meeting. We all shook hands, but they declined at the time. And I said, well, I would like to, start something maybe in the spring when we start working for our budgets, and we all agreed. And it was a good meeting, a solid meeting, and I respected their decision. about 6 weeks ago, the foreman from the transfer station, Forrest Callander, came to my office. And I have to tell you, this is the first time in my bargaining unit experience, and I have, quite a bit of it, that he came to me for Bridgton in our town to open up on Sundays. He approached me. He had a plan, which is going to be, we're going to pursue it because we will be opening, the money is in the budget. The board voted on that a few weeks ago. And Bridgton will be opening on Sundays, and it's a great thing, I believe. He said that all the employees there came and visited with him as a foreman, and they thought it was the best thing to do for our taxpayers. And I've got to tell you, that was outstanding news. I have to tell you, I was very proud of them, and also proud to be part of this decision that finally came to fruition. It wasn't an arduous thing, it wasn't difficult, but to tell you that I was expecting them to come and visit me is a surprise. I was gonna get to them anyway, don't worry, but I didn't have to do that. So it's great news for Bridgton. There are some things that we will not be doing. It's just garbage only. The scales will be closed, no demolition stuff, but that's fine. It'll be 7 to noon, and 2 people will be working. Our CDL driver will be on call just in case, we have to, take care of things and move things around. But in essence, I'm very happy to say it was, I don't even consider it a negotiation. I consider it good work done by good people. And I just want everybody to know that I think most of Bridgton and the visitors and whomever else, business owners, will be happy that we're doing that. So that's my update, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Good news.
And thank you.
Bob, would you like to comment on that? Bob, you don't want them to be closed now on Sundays, do you?
No, I just want to say that I'm very, very happy that this is going to happen. I want to thank the town manager for all the work he's done. More importantly, I want to thank the good folks down at the landfill. It's because of those hard-working folks down there that they are, that the landfill is going to be open on Sundays, which is really exciting. I think what you're going to find is this is just, sometimes when somebody has a complaint about something, you hear it by 5 people, 6 people, maybe, but this year, every place I went, people said to me, when are they gonna open the dump? So I said, I don't know. However, I'm happy to say after tonight that it will be open.
The taxpayers are going to put a statue there of you.
And that starts July 2nd, correct?
Whatever that Sunday is, yes. Yes, sir. Yep.
Maybe
That happens
Mr.
when the budget passes.
Yeah, yes,
Correct.
yes.
I was going to suggest that Mr. McHatton could stand there with Forrest while they pay the dump stickers, and everyone could thank him for being open on Sunday, and they would be in much better moods when they have to fork that $10
Yes.
over. Thank you.
That's a good point. Because
You
I
earned
will
it.
be there the first day at 7 o'clock.
Donuts.
I'm sure.
Maybe give out a lollipop for the first person who's come to the landfill.
Is it true you're going to be dressed as Uncle Sam for the... All right, that is good news. All right. Chief Garland, fire engine.
Good evening. The saga of the fire truck. The deal that I thought we had after our discussion of the budget review on March 4th, I immediately went from this room to my office and emailed the salesman saying we were interested in the truck and we wanted to finalize everything. And we went back and forth for a few days talking about some of those options I mentioned, that tire change, some of that stuff, and try to get pricing, figure out a time. And then on the 13th of March, he sent me an email saying that the truck had been sold to Irving, Massachusetts. I know I said Everett before, that was my mistake, but Irving. Either way, the truck's gone, not available. But coincidentally, the night before that, the 12th, I was at a meeting, and a salesman for a different company that we dealt with before asked me if we committed to that truck. And I said, well, technically, we haven't sent him a letter, we haven't signed anything, but at this point, I'd be very reluctant to back out on the deal that we committed to. And he said, okay, and if anything changes, let me know. Lo and behold, the next morning, I get the email saying the truck had been sold. So I went back to the salesman that talked to me Thursday night, and I said, what do you have for trucks? And he says, well, we have one coming off the line, be available in about 3 to 4 months, and it would be very comparable price-wise to what we were looking at, and it does not have the 2027 emission equipment on the motor that I'm so reluctant to get into.
Yes.
So we've been talking about that right up until just before this meeting, and I have a truck available, and he's holding it for us, depending your approval tonight, and then also ultimately town meeting approval in June. That's all contingent on that, which he's aware of, but it would be a truck that's very comparable to what we were looking at before. It's a different manufacturer, and that's about it. Has the old school motor, the current motor that does not have the 2027 emission standard. We were able to price out the options on this truck that I was trying to get pricing on the other truck. And the total price is $888,301. That includes all of the pump compartment heater, the tire chains, a blowout, air blowout on one of the lines to make sure we can keep that from freezing up, things like that. None of that is pretty stuff, it's performance type things that we were looking at. And I would recommend that we go this route. We still have the option to finance the truck with the first payment due in July of '27, which would put it in fiscal '28, same as the other truck. I don't have the exact price with those options from their lease company. The other one was going to be $849,000, which was the price without the options. On the other truck, for 7 years, was going to be $145,079, one annual payment a year for 7 years. So I was talking with Colleen, and she was spinning her calculator in all sorts of directions. And our best guess is somewhere between 150 and 155 with that, with the options included on this new truck. We just never got to adding that on the other truck before it was sold. But I'd be glad to answer any questions that anybody has or clear up anything I didn't explain.
Does this truck, putting aside the price and availability, is it the size, it has the capabilities of what you were looking for?
Yes, it's very similar to the other engines we have, and it's very similar to what, if we were gonna go out and order a truck, from scratch, if you will, and specify it, it has the 1500 pump, which all our other pumpers have, the gallons per minute on the pump. It's got 1,000 gallons of water. It's got a foam system. It's very, very similar to our other engines. So it's not something that's way off just because it's a spec truck or something. It's a generic truck or a spec truck coming off the line, but it's very, very similar to what we already operate.
The six cab?
6-man cab, yes.
Just for the public's perspective here, real quickly, the chief has a reputation of bringing things sometimes at the last minute when the budget's about to be discussed. And I didn't believe it till I dealt with it myself a few weeks ago. And I walked in his office and I looked at him and I know him well enough where I said, "What's the matter?" He says, "Well, I'm not sure I want to tell you yet." And I said, "What do you mean yet? You're going to have to tell me." And he proceeded to give me the saga of the fire truck, and it was sold from under his nose, and he knew that this board was very nice to support the decision that he brought forth during our meeting. And I said a few things I can't repeat here, but then we had a serious discussion about, do you really want to pursue this or not? I'm not sure the board's going to believe your stories. And I said, if you come here, you better make sure you can answer all the questions. And you asked a couple, and maybe some people do, and Dan did too, but you did some quick work, and if they support this, you better do some more quick work after this is accepted, if it is.
I will be out in the hallway on the phone if that's.
Well, I mean, but I do believe that you've worked hard to find something that's comparable and also in the price range. And Colleen has plugged the numbers in, and they're not much different than what you discussed at the first meeting we had for it. So, I mean, that's all I have to say about that. You folks will make the decision, but that's how that kind of happened.
Bob?
Question for you, Chief.
Yes.
First of all, originally this wasn't in your budget. But at the last minute, you got this great deal. And I think we're talking about close to $1 million. When you put your add-ons and all that stuff onto it. And you want to buy this because the emission is going to be different. What's the difference with the emission anyway? What's it do to the motor? I mean, what's it do with driving the cab?
As far as driving it, it doesn't do anything that way. My concern is with the maintenance, because they're number one, they're redesigning the motor. They're going away from the motors that they've had for decades to a brand new designed motor, and I'm not real comfortable buying that first year motor, if you will. They're also adding a ton of, I don't know if they're like filters or catalytic converter type things. All I've seen is pictures without labels of all this equipment that goes in the compartment that we normally put fire equipment in, is now going to be filled with this stuff that's supposedly making the engine that much greener and more efficient. Now, I'm not against, having pollution reduction, but I'm concerned about adding $100,000 of cost to the truck and having the first generation type of stuff out of the box and not knowing whether that's going to work well or not, because it hasn't been, they're just starting to build the trucks with it now. There are still some trucks available without that, which is what I've been looking at or trying to find. But the ones that are coming with this 27 emission standard, it meets the 2027 emission standards from the federal government. I'm just reluctant to get into that, number one, for the cost, and number two, for the maintenance factor down the road. As far as operating the truck, it doesn't do much. It's not like the driver has to do more stuff or anything like that. It's all done automatically with computers and everything else, which is part of my reluctance to get into that until it's a proven technology. We will at some point down the road at some replacement truck, but by then hopefully everything will have been worked out, and I'm just leery about buying that first generation stuff right out of the box.
So, other than you're concerned about that and the change over the emissions that you're gonna have to deal with down the road, taking away from the motor part of this machinery you're looking at, why is it, or what is it gonna replace, and why other than the emission, I mean, do you really need a new $1 million truck?
This truck would replace engine 76, which is in West Station. The engine that's out there, that's our oldest engine. At this point, we've been trying to replace them somewhere in the 25 to, last couple have been up around 27 years before they were replaced. We had one engine when I first started in 21 that we had as a spare engine at that time. And we put it in service for a couple days while one of the trucks was out for service. And at the end of that couple days, went to put the truck away in the station, and we broke a shaft in the transfer case. And when that shaft broke, you could not drive the truck or you could not pump the truck. It was, the truck would sit there and run all day, but you wouldn't transfer the power of the engine to anything, the rear end of the truck or the pump of the truck. Scotty and I spent,
What caused the damage to happen?
it just,
Just age?
metal fatigue.
Just age?
It was
Okay.
just over 30 years old.
I'm a lot older than that.
You'll be both, but I've broken too, and, you know, they just found the spare parts to put it back together, that's all. We weren't able to find the spare parts on that truck. Scott and I spent about a month,
Okay.
looking,
I think I'm all set.
but it's obsolescence,
Yeah, okay,
in one word.
yeah, thank you. Mr. Manager, you were gonna put one truck in, so this does not affect the budget that much
No, not that much at all.
This will,
compared to the other one?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
do we know actually, do we know procedurally if we say?
I don't know that.
I mean, this is a little different than usual in that we're approving the truck, but the vote at the town meeting would be to, if one needed to be held, would be to approve the truck, but it wouldn't be in the budget until the following year. So I just don't know procedurally. I don't know if we've ever done that. I don't know what we need, I don't know what we need to do. I mean, I guess maybe the first thing is to get a consensus as to whether we want to pursue this, which I would be in favor of. I don't know about the other board members, and so before we pursue the procedure, I'd like to get a consensus from the board as to whether they are in favor of moving forward on this.
Favor.
Favor? Okay, that was easy. So now we're in favor of moving forward. And Ashley, thank
There.
God, is going to speak.
Unless finance has another verbiage that is required for what would need to happen to secure the lease, I think the motion would just need to be to authorize him to secure that lease for the new fire truck, because nothing financially is happening until fiscal year 27, or until the next budget season.
Fiscal 28.
28,
Yeah,
yes.
right.
So I
Would the
think this
board
would-
be able to do that, or would it have to appear on the town meeting ballot that?
This would allow him to secure the lease to pursue that. He wouldn't be able to physically do anything with it monetarily until it's approved by voters. Which
Okay.
would be in the next, not this current town meeting, but the next one.
And does that work for you, Chief? Are they asking for some kind of deposit or anything like that? Nothing before July of?
Just a letter of intent,
A
you
letter.
know, on like town letterhead or something that we were purchasing.
We can
that
do that.
truck.
Okay. So maybe we do need a formal vote.
I would,
Mo-
yeah.
Motion to approve a letter of intent.
Second.
All in favor? Yeah, we got a formal motion.
Okay.
Great, thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Make sure you get out there quickly.
Yes, I'm heading right there, right now.
We're not going through this again.
No.
Thank you, board members, too.
All right. Next on the agenda is Pondicherry Park Committee application from Lauren B. and Bibber.
You asked me to call someone, and I called John Evans, and he absolutely supports this. So I just thought I think I wrote you.
Yeah. Can I get a motion?
Oh, yes. Move to approve Lauren Van Bibber as a member of the Pondicherry Park Committee.
Second.
Dan seconds. All in favor?
She's right back
Oops.
there.
Any discussion, I guess, first?
Oh, no, Dan had just asked if Lauren was here, and she is here.
Oh.
So I just wanted, I had heard the name earlier and I
I didn't see you
didn't know
behind
if
the
you
pole.
wanted her just to come up real
Thank you,
quick.
Lauren. Thank you.
Like we've done in the past, if she wanted to say anything,
Yeah.
you're more than
Yeah.
welcome. You don't have to, don't feel obligated.
I'm all set on my end as long as you guys have any answer questions.
Okay, nope.
Great,
Thank you.
thank you.
All right, all in favor? 5-0. Thank you. New business, approval of the fiscal year 27 budget.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the 27 budget to take it to town meeting.
Second.
I just had a quick discussion item because this is the summary. I don't know when we're going to see it in warrant form. Is there any?
Colleen's here.
There's Colleen. Honestly, people are strategically hiding
Yes,
behind
they are.
poles. Behind poles.
They are.
So I started the preparation of the warrant, and as soon as it's approved by you all, then we'll work to take the next step to put it into warrant format.
And it's going to be the same as in prior years. the
Absolutely,
certain
same.
combination of different departments and
Yes,
whatever.
I have it well charted from years past, and we'll slot the lines in similar fashion.
Perfect. I don't know, when do we need that actual warrant form by to
Ashley?
approve, Ashley?
Warrant has to be posted, I think, 7 days before the election.
Oh, 7, plenty of.
Can we do it ahead of time?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just the
I'm not
ballot
sure.
that has the stricter restriction, but this is typed up and put out by us.
Okay.
And it's nearly ready to roll, just waiting for your official approval of that budget.
All right, thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? 5-0. All right. B, open-end or capped warrant articles for budget item. Whoops. Did you have something to say on what topic, Kevin?
The topic you just finished with.
Okay, go for it then. We'll give you a quick chance, although, as is our custom.
That's right. Inclusion.
Kevin Reddy, Alpine Road. I don't know if this is timely enough, but don't you usually have to, with a financial thing, give a recommendation from the board as to whether you recommend the voters approving, or do you wait till the next time? I don't.
It's on the warrant itself. Any spending
Right.
item on the warrant itself will say the select board recommends approval. If
So it's
it's
automatic and it's already on there?
automatic, if it's a spending item. If it's a non-spending item, then the board can either say, we recommend the yes vote, or they can just leave it blank.
And do you have to cap it now, or does that capping take place? You have a choice whether to make it open-ended or cappable.
That's-
And you have that in there.
that's where we are
That's the
now.
next one, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, and we have traditionally had a capped warrant. I certainly would think a capped warrant would be in order.
I'll move to designate a cap warrant articles for appropriations.
Second.
All right, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? 5-0. All right. To approve and sign the order of discontinuance of Jim Douglas Road.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to say that this is the first time I've had a road come that somebody wanted to have us discontinue it. The only other time I had a different one was out at Chadbourne Hill section. We were going to tar it, and they wanted a left dirt road and came in numbers so that we would not tar the road. That was the only time I ever had that brought to the board. So, other than that, I would move that we approve discontinuing the Jim Douglas Road.
I'll second.
All right, I have to agree, it is an unusual item, but all in favor? 5-0.
Can I just say something, Paul?
Yep.
I'd like to thank Paul for his diligence in research and making sure that we follow the proper steps statutorily. Thank you.
All right. All right, the next one is to set a public hearing to accept written and oral comments on the discontinuation of Jim Douglas Road for May 19th, 2026 at 5:30. There is a lot to discontinue on a road.
I'll make a motion to move to set a public hearing for May 19, 2026 at 5:30 PM to accept written and oral comments on the discontinuance of the Jim Douglas Road.
Second.
All right, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? 5-0. All right, number 9, business licenses and events requiring board approval. A, Music on Main Concert Series at 144 Main Street, Mass Gathering. Don't know if you want to make any comments, Justin, before we go through the application, or what?
Sure. Good evening, members of the board. My name is Justin McIver, and I'm here this evening as a board member of Music on Main, a nonprofit 501c3 organization. We are here tonight to respectfully request permission to continue using the town of Bridgton property for this year's Music on Main concert series. This will be our 6th year hosting Music on Main. And Music on Main is Bridgton's free community concert series that runs from May through October, with 7 total events each year, including our July 4th celebration. What began 5 years ago as a simple idea to bring people together has grown into Bridgton's largest community gathering and one of the most loved outdoor concert series in Maine. But what makes Music on Main special is not simply just the music. It's what happens when people come together. It is neighbors connecting. It is families spending time together. It is children experiencing live music for the first time. And it is a community that shows up for one another. Each event also highlights local nonprofit organizations, giving them an opportunity to share their mission and connect with the community. As the event has grown, safety and organization has become our top priorities, as well as comfort and enjoyment for our attendees. As a nonprofit organization, we take that responsibility seriously. We work closely with professional event security, production, volunteers, the Bridgton Police Department, and Fire Department to ensure that Music on Main remains safe, well-organized, and welcoming for everyone who attends. We have relocated the stage onto privately owned property to support this growth and security. We met with the police chief and fire chief and town manager on this and get their input and advice. We are incredibly grateful for the support of the town of Bridgton, and I want to personally thank the board, the town manager, the town staff, the police department, fire department, specifically the chiefs and their staff, for everything you do to make this event possible for the community. We are also deeply grateful to our sponsors and local businesses who support Music on Main, and to the many volunteers who give their time and energy to make this event happen. And it wouldn't happen or exist without them. Music on Main brings positive energy to the downtown Bridgton, supports local businesses, and creates something meaningful for people in this community. And we believe Bridgton has the opportunity to be a model town for rural community revitalization across Maine and across America. And Music on Main is one small but important part of that vision. It is truly an honor to serve in this role and to help bring this event to our community. And we respectfully ask for your continued support and permission to use the town property so we can continue this tradition for the people of Bridgton and the Greater Lakes region. Thank you very much. Be happy to answer any questions.
I have a couple of things, Justin. One, you have taken something and it has become a very, very big concept compared to where it originally started. And a small group of people were able to fit in that small area on Main Street. And now it has grown to the numbers are incredible of how many people, whether they're residents, whether they're tourists, whether it's lost his name for a minute, Bill Company. But the whole point of the thing is that your little project of music on Maine has grown into a very, very large project. Growing pains come with success a lot of times. So what I would like to ask you is that, being successful as it is there any way that the town can help you and handle any situation that you may be having a problem with? And I do not know what problems, if any, are out there. But I would certainly like the town to be involved with
We want the town, and thank you very much, Bob. This has not been easy. This is a big undertaking. A lot of kind-hearted people giving themselves without any expectation of return. And I think your continued support in the growth and what's best for the community. I think volunteers. I would love to have the town of Bridgton be more included and the town staff to be here. Bangor, other places actually put on these events as a town. So I think that partnership coming together more would be something I would ask from the town. The towns could have a booth there, they could be volunteers, they could sell town of Bridgton swag, and, you know, I just think that there's strength in coming together, and the police department's there, the fire department's there, there's a lot of community members, but I think the town representation of town staff would be an opportunity, I think, that could help strengthen this further for our community.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I had a couple more, I guess, technical questions on the application, which, again, for the public's benefit, typically it would have appeared in the agenda items, but pieces of it came in late, so the select board is looking at documents that the public hasn't had a chance to see. And,
We did not come in late. We just don't put business licenses in the packets publicly anymore because of the spam emails that the business.
Oh, because of the
We
scams.
don't go into public access, but they're always available in our office or by request. But they were not late by any means.
Okay.
Thanks.
I also, I guess, had just a question maybe for town staff about, we were given yesterday, I guess, a legal opinion, and I was just wondering, it's unusual to have a legal opinion prior to a mass gathering license. I was just wondering, who requested the legal opinion, and what did it cost the town to have a legal opinion?
I'm not sure how long it took for our attorney to draw this up. Brenda was working closely with him, so maybe you could come up and answer some questions.
That was my, it's
Yeah.
a simple question.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, I haven't received a bill yet, so I have no idea what that is. We had a brief discussion on the phone. There's been some concern about proper permitting versus the planning board, site plan approval, if it had to be an amendment to the planning board. So to make sure that we were doing everything right, because with these mass gathering permits, I do have to fill out an impact statement. If the impact statement, if I have any concerns, we usually write on that, and I wanted to make sure that we were legally doing this correctly and before I signed off on the impact statement.
Okay. I'm looking at the application. It says the name of applicant or name of organization. It's a Music on Maine is the applicant, right? And you guys are listed here as you guys are the authorized agent. I just want to make sure I understand the form, because there is like a lot of paperwork. Unlike prior years, I guess, I didn't hear you say what time you wanted the street closed and would reopen, nor a list of the bands that would be playing on those days.
The last 5 years, we've just asked a continuation of what was approved, which is closing down Nolte Street at 4 o'clock. So it was just, I guess the request is to continue what has already been in place the previous years.
And as far as who's actually playing at these music events? Because, I mean, there was some concerns voiced last year, I have to say, at least one of the concerts, and I think it might be important to inform the town who the bands are.
Yeah, we're actually getting ready to release that, and we've done more. We had one opener last year that was, and we can't control what people say, but we did have an opener that, so we're putting a stronger vetting process together to make sure, we want a diverse range of music too, right? So we try to, see what the people want. So we're going through a stronger vetting and making sure we're choosing the right people. And knock on wood, right? I mean, we've never had any problems in the past, and we try to make this as much of a family event, right? So when choosing artists, you have to make it as much as family as possible. And again, everybody likes different kinds of music. So one that somebody says was their least favorite, somebody else said that was their favorite. So it's kind of hard, but we're doing our best that we can. And again, we haven't had any problems, but that one opener saying some things at one event.
Yeah, I was not trying to get at the genre music, because if it's country music, I go for the food trucks. If it's non-country music, I go for the food trucks and the music. But that's a personal view of the world.
Yeah, we were caught off surprise with a couple that, but listen, like I said, we do our best, and we're ramping up the vetting and really screening and doing a lot of background.
Justin will verify, and Chief Jones will as well, that, and Paul made a good point, there were some concerns and complaints, and I'm not shy with any of you because I hear things as well. So we had a discussion, and the chief had one prior to me having one with you, I understand. So we shared our concerns at that point. Actually, it was the next day. So I'm not sure, I think you got the message, but that's fine. But at least we're talking about it, and that's a good thing.
Would you have any problem with the board? I mean, you're asking for a broad brush, full summer concert series here, but would you have any trouble coming to the select board and having them confirm that the music acts are in line with the town values and what the town would like to see?
I think that's good.
I wouldn't even want
I
to do
think that's
that.
getting,
I would not want to do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that.
For sure.
Yeah, what I think
It
I
would
would
be all-
like to see,
It'd be all 70s music.
right, like Justin said, there's gonna be different genres of music that everybody likes. I disagree with what you said about controlling what people say. If somebody's paying attention during that event and they start rambling on like they did, you have the power, because you have a sound guy that you hire. Shut the microphone off. You can control that. What I would like to see is a list of the bands added to this, the dates of each one of these events, so we don't get thrown in, oh, we're gonna do an extra one here,
Well, the dates are on here. Yeah.
on here.
Those-
Okay, I'm sorry, yeah, they're down here.
Yeah.
And I was working, I wasn't even listening to that one until I heard it afterwards.
No, no, and I get that, but that's why you have a sound guy.
Yeah,
If they're paying attention,
yeah.
they're gonna hear this. You know, it's very easy to control when the band show up, say, this is what you can and cannot say. You can promote yourself, you can promote your band, but we're not getting into any types of discussion, whether they be political, non-political. You can set the precedent for the bands before they even get on the stage.
Yeah.
You know, that's an easy fix. I've been doing music for over 30 years. You know, I've gone to venues where they tell me, hey, you can't play this song, because we don't allow it here. So you do have the control to say to these bands, you know, yes, you can talk, you know, about, yeah, we had a great vacation here in Bridgton, but not go on this rant about an accident or, you know, different things that happened. You know, that can be controlled. So those are the things I would ask for. I know what Paul was talking about with the legal opinion coming back. What are the plans, and I don't know if we can control this or not. Do you know when the hotel is slated to open? Do you have a grand opening rough date yet? I know construction changes and all that.
October-ish.
October. So again, with this year, I wouldn't have any issues with, you know, the parking, because I know some of that lot is designated for, you know, the hotel. And I hope that your hotel is busy, and that when you do Music on Main next year, you know, that we do it in the same, you know, general location. And if you are, what are the plans that, if the hotel is fully booked, like every single room is rented out for the weekend, and it's a Music on Main event, what's the contingency plan for those 33 or 29 parking spots that they talked about in the letter that we got?
We have a letter from Bill Chalmers letting us use Naga for our hotel guests for those 7 days.
Okay. So I would say, you know, if the grand opening is in, you know, October, we know the last event's in October, I don't have an issue with this year's. Just bring that information for next year. So that way we can have it. If you do have any other events, and this is my first year doing this, so forgive me, I don't know all the regulations, but if another event were to come up that's not on these dates, they still need to come back here to get approval, would be my question.
Well, we can give them a permit for the whole season.
I thought we were
No,
approving it per date.
No, we're just
So, like,
approving
if-
them for these specific
What I was asking
days.
Paul is, you know, we have, if I put my glasses on, I can actually see it. But, so here are the dates of the event. But let's say, you know, in August, you're like, hey, we want to do another event. Do they have to come back before us to get a permit for that particular date?
Yes, this
Yeah.
covers-
Correct.
This only covers this. Okay, no, that's fine. I just, like I said, I'm new to this side of the,
Yeah, if anything, Dan, we're going the other way.
yeah.
And it's a lot, you know, one
I
event.
try- I
You
know.
Run one event, what it takes.
Yep, I know.
7 is, yeah, it's a lot.
So I got a question and a couple of brief comments, and I'll be brief. I noticed that you said beer and wine catered by Maine Catering and Event Services. So are they going to handle all the alcohol?
Yeah, same as all the years that we've done, yeah.
I have to be honest with you, I've only been to like 2 of your events, so. Okay, so Maine Catering's handling all the alcohol. For people about the legal opinion thing who haven't seen it, it's really differentiating between giving approval for an events, and, which doesn't circumvent the planning board's agreement with you regarding the use of that property. So that's what that legal opinion was about. And Mr. McHatton, actually, the town of Bridgton is very vested in this,
Yes.
in that we pay about $6,000 for PD patrol. And it's just,
We pay $6,000, I'm sorry, I just didn't hear what you said.
oh, for officers that attend the patrol. So, and that's a low figure. It's like 4 officers average. I average their pay times 5 hours, times 7 events. Actually, it's $5,212. But that doesn't cover any of their benefits and all that other stuff. So we do contribute. We do contribute.
We also contribute really the bulk of the space. For example,
No, just a little parking lot.
What?
It's just, ours is just a little parking lot.
What? 2 parking lots. The
And
parking
the
lot
street.
across the street, the parking lot behind 144 Main Street, and the street itself.
Oh, okay, the street
Right.
itself, okay.
So if, for example, in here, I think Music on Maine, Bridgton, Inc., the nonprofit, has a lease agreement with Music on Maine LLC, where they actually pay for, where the wood chips are.
Yeah, I read it.
They actually pay
$467.
Music on Maine LLC, a for-profit organization, some amount of money to lease the space. I see the Hotel Bridgton lease is 0, but the Music on Maine LLC, and again, for the benefit of people, and there's 3 different entities here, one being the nonprofit, one being Music on Maine LLC, which is a for-profit organization, and the other being the Hotel Bridgton, which is, of course, a for-profit organization. There also is in here, like, a number of insurance binders from, I don't know, Nautilus Insurance in Arizona. Can you give me a little rundown of how it covers the town?
So we have to be listed as additionally insured, that's all.
We have to do it for all the others.
Yep. That's how that works.
What's that?
They list us on their insurance policy as additionally insured. It doesn't show up on the copies that we have here,
Okay.
but before the events begin, they'll submit copies to Ashley, and it'll say Town of Bridgeton additionally insured.
Okay, so it wasn't that I missed it. It's not in this packet.
No, it just wasn't written on the
It comes
policy.
at a different time. Maybe you can talk just in a little bit on the question that was raised about parking. We have an opinion here someplace that is, I don't know, is not quite definitive as to whether, certainly during peak times, using that parking lot would meet the requirements set forth by the planning board. I don't want to be in a position where the select board is approving something that doesn't meet necessarily the planning board authority. So maybe you can talk about that, because
What's your specific question, Paul?
is how
Brenda might be able to help you.
is how the parking fits in. If you're using the Hotel Bridgeton parking lot during a peak time of the season, does that meet the requirements that the planning board put forth? I don't.
So that's what your legal interpretation refers to, is that they did, to get a little deeper, they did a traffic study, they did a bunch of things that talked about that. And peak season, yes, they expect it to be fuller, for sure. But the average is only 59% full.
Correct. It's the peak that was
Yeah,
'Cause I get to the end of the legal opinion,
yeah.
and the very last sentence is, well, maybe it's a second to the last sentence. Temporary mass gathering, blah, 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 blah. The hotel, as I understand it, is not currently operational, and the real property right to use the subject lot is limited to a certain time period. And I'm trying to figure out what that certain time period
That
is.
certain time period is just using it during the 21 hours a year that he will have music on Maine. It's limited time, because Ben had a copy of the mass gathering permit, so he knows exactly what they were applying for. And as it states, that even if, well, kind of, he says that the, let me find it, sorry. Even if the hotel was at full capacity, that this still would be allowed and not be incompatible with the planning board approval. There is plenty of parking in Bridgton. He had me list off every parking lot nearby. There is overflow for people to park, but the planning board approval also states that the hotel to be completely full will be very few and far between.
And again, I'm not on the planning board, I'm trying to make sure that the select board doesn't sort of
Right.
trample on what the planning board has.
And that's why I
see
got
Deb-
the legal opinion, because I am actually, doing an impact statement for you guys. You're approving the gathering. And if there was an issue with planning board, it's my responsibility to write on my impact statement that there is something that's not met. So like that doesn't have planning board approval or needs planning board approval, or, that's what my responsibility is on the impact statement. And because we had a few people with concerns, that's why I got this, so that this will clarify this for the select board, so they know they're not overstepping the planning board. Then they're not overstepping me either, because this is just your gathering permit. But we're not overstepping, you guys would not be overstepping the planning board.
I just wanted to make sure that, I don't know, because I see Deb has raised her hand.
Yeah.
And she,
Before we go there, Paul, a quick question for you, Brenda. You said 21 hours. You're basing that on 4 to 7 for the event, or whatever the time frame is.
That's the.
So
yeah.
my question would be, and this is,
And it's
just
probably
to
a little
play,
bit more with tear down and set,
Well,
but yeah. But it's.
that would be my question. When, and Justin or Steve, you might be able to answer this. When do you typically set up the stage for the band for that, let's say it's Saturday, July 2nd is the first event. When does the stage get set up? On July 2nd at 3 o'clock? Or do they come in Friday afternoon and set it up?
No, they'll come in that
No,
same day.
that same day.
Around 12, 1, 2-ish.
Okay, so that parking lot is rendered not usable from 12 o'clock in the afternoon Saturday to, when do they take it down?
Yeah,
That night?
probably, yeah, right after at 9 o'clock. they'll-
They do take, okay, and like I said, I've been to the events and then I disappear and go to
Yeah.
camp.
Most of-
I've never been there to see
Hotel-
Sunday.
Yeah,
If
hotel
they-
parking is at night most of the time.
Yeah.
During the day, there's nobody around, they're out doing stuff. So it's at nighttime when they come to sleep.
Okay.
That's why we're working with Chalmers as well.
Yeah.
That- I mean, it's the business.
Because I know
Yeah.
there's been a lot of questions, I just wanted to see what the, so they set up and tear down the stage in the same day.
Yes. Yep.
and where do they store the materials? Like Music on Main, after the event, prior to the event, is town property being used to store materials? Or is town property only used during the event and then not used?
Yeah, we have a Connex box on the town property for storage.
A lot of questions over
Yeah.
5 hours.
The box is on the little space right next to the post office, right?
It's actually about 20 feet from the property, and I asked Justin, well, I mentioned it to him, and he offered to move it, and the town manager said no for 20 feet. Now, if I'm a bad person for that, then I'm a bad person for that.
No, I just wanted to differentiate that it wasn't in the actual parking
I know.
lot that,
Yeah.
in back of the bookstore.
Yeah, and it's not a big Conex box, I mean, that,
No.
like
It
the stage and all that stuff, Paul, that they set up for the bands, that doesn't get, you
That
can
doesn't-
correct me if I'm
right.
wrong, but I believe that gets taken away, and that goes with whatever event company
Right,
you
right.
hire. They bring that in and take it, you're not storing it, because you need a lot more than one Conex box. So, yeah, that's used for, I think, like your, just your, like, hand washing station stuff and that type, okay.
We're also leaving the porta potties open for the public use too. We've gotten a lot of comments.
That might offset that $6,000 for the PD.
Sorry?
So that might offset the $6,000 for the PD, in my mind. Because that is a
And
bit
Deb
of a
wants to say
public
something.
service for us.
Yeah.
And you
wants to
also
say
maintain them, right?
Yeah.
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 Deb, did you have a,
I did have some comments, yes. The board's done with the
we don't have any motion on the table or anything.
There you go,
breaking
Deb,
stuff.
just break everything.
Is Chief still here?
Dan, you're a sound engineer.
That should help. Deb Rossini, 35 Summit Drive, Bridgton. I'm here speaking as a member of the planning board, not as the chair. I've seen the letter from the attorney. It begs some questions, and I've also, heard what Justin has to say. First thing I want to say is, in no way what I've got to say is any reflection on the benefit to the town of Music on Maine. I think it's one of the best things for the health of the town, and I think, you guys are the reason why. And it's always been well organized. So I was only going to say, following all the things you said, it's been wildly, probably successful beyond your dreams. So this is more about public process and some questions. The first thing I would just say is I'm glad to see that it's hard for me to understand the context in which the attorney doesn't think that use of the lot is incompatible with the site plan approval. Only because it does state in there that that parking is needed during peak occupancy times, which I assume is most of the summer and into the fall. That being said, it sounds like there's a solution that Mr. MacGyver has come up with. My comment to that is, and I'm maybe being, by the letter of the law here, it says in the standard that was approved by the board, that was agreed by the applicant, I'm not going to read the whole thing because it would take long unless you want me to. Neither shared parking nor the use of leased or municipal parking lots is proposed. The use of the Chalmers lot 7 or 8 times a year, year after year after year after year, because I would hope this is going to go on for the next 20 years, to me is a variation from the board's approval. There was a specific lot set aside for the overflow parking when it was needed, with specific design criteria, number of spots, all of that. So if, to me, even for parts of that peak occupancy period, and a shared lot is going to be used, it seems to me it's a very straightforward amendment to the existing approval. The other question I have, I guess, is these are really questions, and they don't necessarily have to be answered now. Is the satellite lot actually going to be constructed as it is described in it, and there's a plan for in the approval? There's a site plan for that lot with a certain amount of lighting, and certain security cameras and other requirements. So I'm making the assumption that unless there's an amendment, that will be constructed as was approved, so that it can be, used, and it seems like that could be constructed, but I don't want to say much more than that. So, I'm assuming the hotel, from what I've heard tonight, is going to get a permit to open without the parking lot being available. I guess that's really a question for Brenda. Can they get an occupancy permit for the hotel even though the satellite lot, which is essentially required?
We met on that today, actually, right before I got here, so I believe they're going to finish that, but for occupancy, but we have a question on it that I need to talk to Dawn about, because there was some agreement with Justin and Bob Peabody at the time, not an agreement, but some conversation about combining the town parking lot in.
Thanks for letting me know.
I just got back right before.
I'm teasing.
So I was like, yeah, I just got back.
I'm teasing you.
You know, you're fine. So I was gonna have that conversation with you to see where we're at with that, if that's going to change, or,
I don't.
but there was conversation, George, I mean, remember, I'm not sure, but they were gonna combine the parking lots at one point. And it was,
I'll listen, I have no idea where
I have
we'll
no
go with it.
idea either, so I wasn't involved in that, but I guess there was talk of that, so they didn't want to finish the parking lot until they knew if that was gonna happen, because it doesn't make sense to pave and mark one side of the parking lot.
Oh, I
if it's all
agree with
gonna be
that,
one.
but I don't know much else about it,
Yeah.
but I will certainly
So-
listen, absolutely.
We'll talk tomorrow.
So Brenda, but do you have an answer to the question? If you don't, that's fine. Because that lot was supposed to be constructed as part of the hotel plan, can an occupancy, if the hotel gets done first and the lot isn't finished, can an occupancy permit be granted? Or
Typically, we
does
do
it have
not
to
do
wait?
that unless, like with Tractor Supply, what we just did with Tractor Supply is they only could get a base coat down on the pavement area because of the weather. It got too cold too quick and they couldn't get it done, so they did get a temporary occupancy. But if it's gonna be open by October, I don't see that being a problem for this lot. But as I said, it wouldn't make sense to pave just that if we're gonna do something different. So that,
So
there's a lot more to
could-
that conversation
that
than just
could
that.
also, if
Yeah.
there's a change, that could end up in an amendment. Okay. That answered my question. I really think that's it. I just wanted to point out some of these things, and what's in the approval, and say that I'm not sure how I mean, it's good that the Chalmers is willing to add the parking, but how the attorney's, the only thing I disagree with what he said, how he can look at the approval and say that it's not incompatible. It is incompatible unless there's another parking area for, seven peak times, year after year after year. So that's my comment. And I know Brenda will have discussions, but it seems if we're going to modify, if we're going to use a shared parking lot, so during some of the overflow times, that can be handled, so Music in Maine can go and do what it needs to do, then I will talk with Brenda, but I'd recommend that technically that's an amendment, as simple as it might be. Since it clearly states in the approval that a shared parking lot is not going to be used. And since also, so that's a change in that two lots will actually be used, not one. But I don't want to get technical.
I don't see this legal opinion as usurping any of the planning board's
Yeah, I'm not.
decisions.
I'm not
So-
saying that it does.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to be clear
Yeah.
to people in the public that we're just looking at a temporary event
Yeah,
thing,
no,
that we are
I-
not interfering with any planning board business or any business
I-
between you and Hotel Bridgton.
I totally agree that the planning board doesn't have authority over mass gathering licenses, but if there's a change in the approval, which it sounds like there is, then I would submit, it's very clear in the code that there should be an amendment for that. So it's really, the fact that the hotel's not opening till October, I think helps us an awful lot, bottom line. It avoids the conflict.
So I just want to add one quick thing to that. So an example of why this wouldn't be a change to use that parking lot would be the same as Hannaford wants to have an event on, three times a year where they have bouncy houses and this and that. It's the same thing. They would not come back to the planning board to get approval to have a mass gathering for that. Or the Brew Fest, if we want to do that 3 times a year, Bragfield going to come back for an amendment? No, they're not. It's a mass gathering. It's totally different.
Can I just say one more thing? I just want to be really clear. Obviously, mass gatherings can, we don't have authority over that. I just want to be clear that the use of a shared lot is specifically stated that it won't be in the approval. So, it seems like there's a change to that. And I don't think that decision, obviously that decision shouldn't be made here at all, and it's not my decision.
All right, I'm gonna go back to procedure here. We need to call this question now. This is not public comment, this is not a public hearing. I'm gonna make a motion, I just gotta find it here. Move to approve the mass gathering application for Music on Main for 2026. We're only talking about one potential conflict in late October. Nothing changes right now. I think this is more for a next year issue. But he's already provided us with some documentation. Our role as a select board is to approve the mass gathering. Brenda's role as the CEO is to approve the impact statement and make sure that it follows that. Because we could sit here again for another hour with discussion.
I'm going to second your motion
Thank you.
if we cut it back to just the first sentence.
I'll make a motion
Okay,
to approve
I'm seconding your motion, but I'm not going to second that whole diatribe.
Yeah. So move to approve the mass gathering application for Music on Main for 2026.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none.
None. I just wish you sunny skies and well-behaved people.
And I hope for the roast beef truck. All in favor?
I got sad news. Are you talking about Boston's best
Yeah.
roast beef? I literally just saw a post on Facebook yesterday that they are retiring and moving to Florida and potentially selling the food truck.
Buy it, Dan.
I'm
Well, you're the one who retired 8 years ago today. Buy the truck.
Okay, can we move on?
Why? Okay, that issue's done. I did want to ask Brenda who she's having discussions with about extending the parking lot onto, combining the town parking lot with the private parking lot. I'm not aware of those discussions, nor am I.
I'm not either.
Okay,
So I don't know.
okay,
This happened earlier, so I really don't know the details.
okay,
That will come to the Board of Selectmen.
all right.
Yes.
We will have public comments at some point.
Thanks for reminding me.
All right.
Mr.
By the
Chairman,
way, I was here to support the project.
Yep, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, can we take a 5-minute break, sir?
Yes, we can. That's the best idea I've heard from you in the 6 years I've been on this board. Can we come to order?
Thank you for the suggestion, Mr. McHatton. That was a
All
very
right,
nice
only
break.
a 6-minute break, that's our record.
Okay.
Okay. All right, next item, business license and events. Cafe Paprika, easy for me to say. MTK at 146 Harrison Road, victual renewal.
Move to approve the mask,
Yeah.
wait, excuse me, pardon me, that has been settled. Move to approve a victular renewal permit to Cafe Paprika Market, MTK, at 146 Harrison Road.
Second.
All in favor? 5-0. Next, Dog Days of Bridgton at Bridgton Community Center. Use of town-owned property. I'm not quite sure what the town-owned property piece of that is.
The community center is owned by the town of Bridgton.
Oh, okay, the actual physical plan.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's
Next one,
outside
too.
on the ground, so it has to have.
That's the actual
slight
physical
approval.
plan.
Move to approve the use of town-owned property by Dog Days of Bridgton at the Bridgton Community Center on August 15th, 2026, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Second.
All in favor? 5-0. All right, another celebration, Lake Region Recovery Center.
Move to approve the use of town-owned property by Lake Region Recovery Center at the Bridgton Community Center on September 12th, 2026, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Dan seconds. All in favor? 5-0. All right. Number 10, orders by the board for articles on the referendum ballot.
I just want to point out a typo on the next item. It's supposed to be for the articles going to the warrant on June 9th. I believe it,
And it's 2026. Oh, no.
No, I think it says
Comprehensive
June.
plan.
It says June 19th.
yeah, it should be June 09, not June 19. That is our annual town meeting. So I noticed that today as I was preparing, and I wanted to make sure that was said before we go through with the approval.
So we
All right.
date the comprehensive plan on the date that the state, I mean, it's dated 2025?
Yes, because it was approved through the state for 2025, so now it
Okay.
goes to the
Okay.
voters, yep.
Who gets credit?
Yeah.
Motion?
Move to certify and place referendum question, shall the inhabitants of the town of Bridgton vote to adopt the Town of Bridgton 2025 Comprehensive Plan, which updates and replaces the 2014 Comprehensive Plan and direct its implementation.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? 5-0. Oh, no. Whoop.
Okay.
Oh, Ken,
Yeah.
come on up.
Sounds like a lot of us getting.
Oh, yeah, it's getting more and more difficult. Okay, I just wanted to respectfully request the board consider adding to it that the board recommends a yes vote on the comprehensive plan.
No.
No. There's the,
It's not a money item.
oh, I thought that you could have.
We could.
We could,
Yes.
but personally, I never make recommendations on any item that isn't a money item. I let it go to the people to decide. So it's just for me, it's just a generic sort of, let the people, not that I'm not in favor of it, but let the people vote without that on the ballot, so.
I disagree with you. I think a yes vote for the Board of Selectmen for the comprehensive plan would just show the voters that the board approves what has put together. And we're asking him to approve it also.
We've approved it numerous times.
That
And by-
we have.
And by putting it on here,
approved
we've
it.
approved it, so.
Putting it on the warrant.
Yeah, I didn't mean to cause a controversy, just a respectful request for your consideration.
I'm fine with putting a yes on it. Maybe there are some people who somehow miraculously do not know how wholeheartedly we approve of the comprehensive plan?
I'm okay with it.
You can make a motion. It's part of the, it falls under the
Make a motion.
warrant article.
Make a motion that we put a yes vote on the comprehensive plan,
I'll second.
June 9th.
Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? And again, I'm not opposed to the comprehensive plan. I just do not.
Yeah, you made your point clear, that's good.
There you go.
Yeah, well, thank you for the consideration.
Move to certify and place the secret ballot referendum question. Shall the inhabitants of the town of Bridgton vote to approve the municipal officers' orders of discontinuance of the Jim Douglas Road dated March 24, 2026, without reservation of a public easement therein, said order being on file with the town clerk?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? 5-0. All right. Placeholder for the fire truck.
Yeah, we're okay.
We're all right with that. We can move past that.
We have, am I reading this? We had one more on there, Paul.
Land use code.
No, land use, I'm sorry, I missed the land
Item
use
C.
code.
Yeah. Which is item 10C.
Yep.
So I'll move to vote by secret ballot on the following question. Shall an ordinance entitled Amendments to the Bridgton Land Use Code and Official Shoreland Zoning Maps Do Correct Errors be enacted?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? 5-0. All right, fire truck, we've been through select board comments.
I would like to invite everyone to join us on Saturday from noon to 3 at Shorey Park for a celebration of democracy and community. There's going to be a food drive there if you'd like to bring some non-perishable items. And I would also like to say that we had an organizational meeting at the Harrison Food Bank last week regarding this event. And the consensus was that our town manager and police chief have been very helpful and amenable to the gathering that we are going to have, and that was not lost on the crowd. Kudos to you.
All right.
Thank you.
Dan, any comments?
No, I'm good.
Bob?
Good.
Comment?
I'm ecstatic that
All right.
that was it? That
That's it.
got laughter out of you guys? I am ecstatic. Very
can't-
happy that the gentlemen down at the transfer station were receptive and thoughtful about the needs of the people of Bridgton, and you vote on this when you come to town meeting and vote on the budget. I encourage people to come and support it. Also, that they be respectful of the few limitations that come along with it. I'm so happy that they did this, and I'm very proud. We've been asking for this for a long time, and they came through. That's it. Thank you.
Right. I will only add to that, buy your dump sticker. Put a
Yes,
dump
yes.
sticker on and buy it.
Yes.
I hate to be too dollar focused,
No.
but
No, I concur with that.
people need to buy a dump sticker. All right. Next is the dedication of the town report, which we have not really had any kind of discussion of, but if people have thoughts, put them out there. Maybe if people don't have thoughts, we can hold that in abeyance until our next meeting.
Yeah.
I don't think it has to be a dead person. I know she gave us the list of people who passed away in the last year, but it's always nice to be honored while you're still alive and can read it.
I think maybe the prior 2
we did
years,
Mike
we've
Tarantino.
had a dead person and a person who's alive.
Yeah. So
You've
So-
done committees.
people like to be honored while they're still able to breathe.
So maybe we can table that one until the next meeting and people have a chance to think about it.
Mr. Chairman, we talked about this at our agenda setting meeting, and I have to tell you that I've done a lot of things and have a lot of experiences, and since I've been in Bridgton, there's a whole bunch of things that I've never experienced that I am now, and this is one of them. I have to tell you, this is a first. And I was educated very well at the meeting, and I just have to say that it's a new situation that I was never even aware of. So I'm glad that you do these types of things, but it's a new experience for me.
Good for you to learn new things.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, and that leads into the town manager's report.
Hi, we've done an awful lot with budgets, as we all know, and then we did have some time to do some other things. I did tour the new school that's under construction with the chief, and basically, not that I know about security real well, but I was invited, and a lot of questions were asked about fire and police involvement in the future when the building is actually, well, they're doing these things now, but it was quite an education, and safety is number one, as we've all talked about. I held a monthly managers meeting, which I usually don't talk too much about. I have to tell you that I was very pleased with the comments that they were included more in the budget process than they have been in the past. Actually, Deb wrote a nice note. I appreciated that too, recognizing that. And I also learn many things every time we do have a meeting, such as leaky roofs, and then, now the chief's got a new one with some mold, the other chief over there. But we handle these challenges the best we can, and I share them with the board when they come along. So, speaking of that, I visited, we took a tour, I took a tour with Howard from our wastewater department head down on Lower Main Street, and there are some issues with some connections, which I can't believe were done because I'm not even in construction. I never talked to Dan about it, but somehow some of these connections ended up in the middle of the road instead of the side road, and now we have problems. And, it happened when they first were doing it, so we have to get some prices and deal with that. But it needs to be done, there's no question. We can't let any more of those problems continue. We quickly on this, I worked with Ashley M., Jane, and Todd on some future grant opportunities. And I've got to tell you that they really are doing a wonderful job looking at every single grant opportunity, if it makes sense for the town of Bridgton. And of course, you've got to weigh, matching funds and things that you all know on this board, but there are some real good opportunities, and I was really pleased how hard they're working on those. I also want to thank Nolan Allen, who nobody probably knows here, from Public Works. He handles taking care of all our snow removal and shoveling all winter, and I'm here early, as most people in this room know, and he does an outstanding job. I thank him all the time, but I want to recognize him because as much as we've had 23 or 24 snow events, big or small, he does a great job here. So I just wanted to let people know about that. That's all I have, Mr. Chair.
All right. Deputy Town Manager's report.
Thank you. So nominations are available at the Bridgeton Town Office for the following positions: 2 Select Board members, Assessor, Overseer of the Poor, 3-year term; 1 Planning Board Regular Member, 3-year term; 1 Planning Board Regular Member, 1-year term; 1 Planning Board Alternate, 3-year term; 1 Planning Board Alternate, 1-year term; 2 MSAD 61 Directors, 3-year term; 1 Water District Trustee, 3-year term. You must be 18 years or older, a registered voter in our municipality, and obtain 25+ signatures to be placed on the ballot. Please contact the town clerk for more information. Completed forms must be turned in by Friday, April 10th at 4 p.m. In general, applications are currently being accepted for the position of Public Services Director. Employment application and job description are available at the Bridgton Town Office, 3 Chase Street, Suite 1, and on the Town of Bridgton website at bridgtonmaine.org. Interviews are currently in progress, and the position will be open until filled. From the Bridgton Recreation, it may look like spring outside. It may not look like spring outside, certainly does not look like spring outside, but the Recreation Department is excited to welcome this spring season as programming continues to grow and community participation reaches new heights. Youth sports clinics kicked off this week, currently taking place indoors at Town Hall, while we await fields ready for play. Enthusiasm has been tremendous. Registration numbers are already running approximately 20% ahead of last spring season, a reflection of the strong community support for our youth programs. We're also pleased to report that 8 community sponsors have committed to supporting our teams this season, and we extend our sincere thanks to each of them. We're still seeking sponsors for a few more of our baseball teams, and any local businesses interested in getting involved are encouraged to reach out to the Recreation Department. Exciting new adult program is on the horizon this April. Beginning April 13th, we'll launch Monday Night Madness at Town Hall, an individually registered adult recess program featuring dodgeball, foursquare, cornhole competitions. This program is sponsored by Standard Gastropub, and we are grateful for their support in bringing this fun, active, community-building opportunity for Bridgton adults. Also coming in April is a Strengthen and Balance yoga series led by Yoga with Rose, offered on Tuesday and Thursday evenings. Visit the Recreation Department webpage for a register for either program today. Giving all ages even more ways to stay active and engaged, our community archery and community karate programs are also accepting registrations for their spring sessions. These are set to begin in mid-April. Planning is already well underway for the town's Independence Day celebration. This past week, staff met with race director Bill Graham to begin discussions around the momentous 50th anniversary of the 4 on the 4th. Along with surrounding community activities on July 3rd and 4th. We look forward to sharing more details as plans come together for this milestone event. Until next time, be safe and be well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Paul, I just have one comment on the report. On the completed forms for the nomination papers, it says they have to be in by Friday, April 10th. We're closed on Friday.
They have there's a box. There's a
Wow.
drop box.
I'll be
There's
here.
You'll be there?
I'll be here.
Okay, I know
It's a
we're,
lot easier to shift it and just be here and have staff here to do just voter-related items than it
Perfect.
is to accept them later because of our schedule or earlier because of our
Yep.
schedule.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to, because I know a lot of the public or people that are doing it would be like, well, I can't turn it in Friday, I have to get it in.
I'll
So,
be here.
perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley.
nice.
We'll be here.
Project updates, anyone know? Public comments on non-agenda items.
I gotta be on an early flight tomorrow. I did thank on an email the Public Works Director, or Public Works, but I'd like to publicly thank Public Works and the town manager for the work they did on Upper Ridge Road. There was a dip that went all the way across the road that was so bad, you basically had to stop to get across it if you didn't, going in one direction anyway. If you didn't want to have your front end feel like it just broke a spring or shock or something. He asked that I send him an email. I did send an email, and he actually received it, I think, while he was on vacation.
Yep.
On Monday, when he got back around 7:30 in the morning, I had to leave the house for an appointment. When I returned and I went across that area at about 10:45 in the morning, it was fixed. It's been filled with gravel and packed down really good. I've noticed that even after the rains and the wet and the plowing, I don't even know I'm going over it anymore. Okay, so.
They did a good job.
I
Thank
just
you.
wanted to thank the town manager for, such a quick response time and the guys in Public Works who apparently got out there without anybody even realizing, at least me, and I'm guessing everybody that drives Upper Ridge Road's pretty happy. And I promise not to tell you where every other bad dip is in town where I drive, or at least I'm going to tell you, but not ask you to fix them.
I would appreciate that, yes.
And then, my other comment is, and if this is on the website, it might be on the website, but it might be useful that the public knows that they can request or come to the office to look at the business licenses, the victular licenses, because I didn't realize it until, and the reason why they weren't in the packet anymore until I spoke with Ashley. So if there's a way to put it on the town clerk's website or something like that, maybe that would be
Yes.
helpful. Not that I'm advocating for the
It's
whole
just
world to
like-
come to
yeah,
your
it's
office,
just like code
but.
files, assessing files, business files, all of it's accessible. Code, assessing, business, always available.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Kevin?
I must say, Deb has a much quicker first step than I did, because I was leaving at the chair, and she beat me by a mile.
I recommend that you sit on this side of the,
That's a good suggestion.
you're quicker to the mic and you
We-
can
we
beat
should
out,
have everybody-
Ted, so.
Everybody over 80 sits
Oh,
towards the mic.
no.
You only have 3 minutes, Kevin.
Kevin Reddy, Chair of the CDAC. Two quick things. I wish Justin was still here. If you know me, I'm panicking early and worrying about the project 5 years from now.
Oh.
I would ask Justin,
What, you set them up?
where are we going with the parking lot? Are we going to be doing this 5 years from now, or 10 years from now, or 20
so.
years from now? Pardon?
Hope so.
Well, I hope so too. I'm saying, are we going to be doing it exactly there? That's my question.
That's a year-to-year decision,
Yep.
depending on the application.
Oh, maybe 20 years out, I'm not questioning that, but it's something we ought to think about going forward. It
Didn't
affects-
Justin propose to put it
Yes.
at the Maker's Mill as its permanent spot, which has just been pushed back on the
We did talk about
timeline?
that. There were other talks
Yeah.
about doing it in other places, like where the middle school is, or if there were a bandstand there or
In our
something.
school.
There were other
Never
thoughts
heard
there that might be looked at, just to figure out where are we going.
It's his project.
She is correct.
It's a conversation.
On the Baker's Mill,
Yeah.
there is, that approval
Yep.
has authorization for event space, and even includes, I think, comments by the fire chief about shutting down Depot Street, if I remember correctly.
It's his project, but there's planning that one should do to make a viable, I used the word viable, wow, viable town here. Second thing, just a quick note, thank Ken for proposing, and thank you for approving of the recommendation on the comp plan. Not everybody has a chance to read it, not everybody is informed on this, and there are a lot of people that put a lot of hard work in.
Yes.
It's good to have your support for what was done.
Isn't your committee working on a publicity campaign prior to election?
Yep, Ken is. Ken is working on it with, Ken?
With Al.
Well, what we have decided is that it won't be a terribly active campaign because that is not really necessary. Albertone-
Information.
Yes, information. Albertone is putting together, probably 2 weeks before the June 9th meeting, a meet and eat and ask questions about it. If anyone is interested at that time in the community, they'll have a chance to come and say, what's going on here, what's the information that we need. But other than that, we're not planning an onslaught.
Ken, isn't he also going to interview some of us for an LRTV?
Yes, there will be interviews of which I'm sure that they're going to interview Deb, because of her position on the planning board has a lot of interaction with the comprehensive plan. And so that'll be something to look forward to. And again, Al Boutone will be able to officiate and put that together. And he's, compliment him on his remarkable energy that,
No doubt.
no doubt, in trying to get any PR out into the town. He has lots of ideas about how to do it. So thank you for the consideration, and maybe in the next budget, there can be a repair of the, I'll see if I can put it back together.
Walk away, please.
That's perfect. Quietly.
Yes.
Don't even look at it. I think it's a balance issue.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you.
That does not look stable.
No, it does not.
Any more non-agenda items? Nope. Treasurer's warrants.
Move to approve treasurer's warrants 76 and 77. That doesn't sound like a lot of treasurer's warrants, but they're this thick.
And second.
They are.
All in favor? 5-0. All right, the next meeting is April 14th, so this is one of those 3 week.
Yeah.
One of those 3 weeks because of the way the Tuesdays fall. April 14th and April 28th. And I'll take the usual, easily to agree upon motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second, all in favor? Adjourn.